John is waiting when a group of police officers walk into the bus station, and when he sees them, he freaks the F out. And this is where shit gets so weird.
Okay.
What up, everyone? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to everyone. You've almost made it.
Oof, can't wait. I really don't have anything at the top. We're really gonna jump into this bitch. This one's crazy.
Is it? Okay. I don't even know what you're doing.
It is like, it just doesn't stop. So again, here's the plea. Stick to it. I'm gonna be talking about trial. I'm gonna be all up in that bitch. I'm gonna be coming up with a verdict, and you're gonna look at your pod and be like, why is there 15 minutes left? Or like, I don't know what those minutes are, but there's going to be some left.
You're going to think that it's winding down. And
that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I tell you.
And it's not because we have 200 patrons to call out?
I was about to say that. It's not because of a huge list of patrons. It is, story's not over.
What a shame.
Just because trial's not over doesn't mean story's over. I mean, just shit. You get it. Just because the trial's over doesn't mean the story is. Got it.
Okay.
All right, Rachel here. How are ya? I don't know what I'm calling this yet, so I'm just going to get into some sources.
Okay.
You'll be pleasantly surprised by my sources.
Wikipedia. Just kidding.
Wikipedia.
Oh.
The Onion.
The Onion, yeah.
Birmingham News.
Hey,
Court documents. The Aniston Star had a ton of articles.
Is this your second Aniston story? Right?
Wasn't
that bitch you didn't have a twin?
Yes, she was.
She was from Aniston.
And Anne-Marie Hilly. Anne-Marie? That doesn't sound right. Hilly.
Something.
Yes, she was. Thank you so much for remembering. We're in that area, but we're not in Aniston. And then lastly, BaptistMessage.com. You'll see why.
Baptist Message?
Message, yes, .com. Mark Martin was born on October 28th, 1958 in Springville, Alabama, which is right in between, like, dead middle of Birmingham and Gadsden, Alabama. Mm-hmm. He was one of 4 kids, and his dad was a reverend at Riverside Baptist Church, so their family was very religious. Mm-hmm. At Springville High School, Mark was a hometown hero. I mean, he was star athlete. He was even all St. Clair County selection in both football and basketball, which is an athletic honor of sorts. Yeah. Wouldn't know. He was also, he was also in an academic club and was really active in church youth programs. Okay. Even with all that going on, he still managed to start dating fellow classmate Donna Tucker. Donna was also an impressive teenager. She was vice president of student council, president of the Springville High School band, drum major in the marching band, youth leader at Springville United Methodist Church. She was also insanely smart. She was in the same academic club as Mark and graduated salutatorian, which is the second rank behind valedictorian. Yeah.
Should we know that? Should I know that?
We didn't have that. We didn't have that at MBHS.
No.
But I guess that's okay.
Because if you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. Obviously. So on top of all that, she was Miss Springville. So she's also it's a pageant, I guess. Okay. So she's also very pretty. Just everyone liked them. Yeah. They were a force to be reckoned with as far as high school couples go. Good kids.
Sure.
Mark and Donna were tops. After they graduated in May 1977, they got engaged. Since they were young, there was no rush to set a wedding date, but their families and everyone was just amped for them.
Yeah.
Donna got a scholarship to Jacksonville State University in Jacksonville, Alabama, and Mark was going to play football at a small college. He got a scholarship. I'm not sure where, but that chance was taken away from him after a knee injury senior year. So, God. So he started attending Gadsden State College at Pell City, their Pell City branch. Mm-hmm. His plan was to go there for the first 2 years so he could save money and get his prereqs done. And then he was going to transfer to Jacksonville State to be with Donna.
Oh, okay.
So for the time being, they're like an hour away from each other. And being busy students, they didn't get to see each other much during the week. So they were all about their weekends because they got to hang, and they even developed a little tradition.
Okay.
Donna's parents would take her to Mark's every weekend. Then on Sundays, Mark would finish work at a Gulf service station around 8 p.m. and he and Donna would make the hour drive back up to Jacksonville together, and he'd drop her off. They always stopped in Anniston to pick up their favorite burgers from some local restaurant, take them to go, and then they'd go have a picnic in Germania Springs Park in Jacksonville, which is so sweet. So they would go there for dinner, have a picnic. They'd talk about their upcoming week, life, whatever. Then they'd say their goodbyes until the following weekend.
Oh, okay. That for dinner, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They would stop in Anniston on the way back and pick up burgers. They did this every Sunday, and Sunday, July 17th, 1977 was no different. They pick up their food and got to the park around 10 p.m.
Jeez.
I know, it's late, but it's okay because there's, first of all, it is Jacksonville, Alabama.
Second, it's a small town, Alabama, yeah.
Right. There's tennis courts at the park, and the tennis court lights were on until midnight. So they would sit in an area where they could see.
Yeah.
Because the lights were on. So, but they got, I mean, it is late. So they got there at 10 p.m. They noticed a man sitting alone at the picnic tables nearby. They didn't think much of it, but they walked like 20 yards away and spread out their blanket like away from them.
Yeah. While
they were eating, the man came up to them and asked for a cigarette. These are good kids. They don't smoke.
Not even in the 70s, sir.
No, get out of here, bum. So they said, no, sorry, we don't smoke. And he said, fine. And he walked away.
Okay.
A few minutes later, he came back and asked for a match. And they're like,
what'd we say?
We don't smoke. What are we?
We're not joint? Candle lit dinner. What are we doing?
We don't have anything to light anything because we don't smoke anything.
Right.
Run along. So he did. 5 minutes after that, the man came back, but this time he came back from a different direction. He walked around the park's perimeter and was crossing a nearby footbridge. This park is very nice. I Googled it. I saw the footbridge. I know all of it.
Okay.
So he's crossing the footbridge when Donna noticed him, and she's like, oh my God, he's coming back again. As he got closer, they noticed that he was holding a pistol.
I was about to say, I would wrap that up so quickly. If I saw him coming back a third time, I'd be like, okay, we have to go. But yeah, it sounds like it's too late.
Too late. The guy ordered them to stand up, which they did. He then pressed the gun to Donna's head. So Donna's 18, Mark is 19 at this point.
Okay.
He pressed the gun to Donna's head and told Mark to get naked, saying he didn't want him to run. He figured he wouldn't run if he was butt-ass naked. Mark obeyed, and then the guy forced Donna to get naked. He then
for different reasons, huh?
Yes. Well,
it's a weird assumption to assume they wouldn't run naked. I would run if there's a gun pointed at me. I'm running every which way I can. I don't give a shit if I have clothes on or not.
I know, but I guess being chivalrous, he wouldn't leave Donna.
Yeah.
So he then made them sit back down on the blanket, and with the gun to Donna's head, he began groping her.
Ugh.
Donna started crying and praying out loud for him. Like not saying
for this attacker?
Yes. Like not saying like, help me, help this guy get through whatever he's got, like whatever's happening.
Wow.
Oh, I know.
What did that strategy do? Piss him off or pull it at heartstrings? I wonder what that would do. That's a good okay.
I don't think it was strategic. I think she was genuinely he's clearly Satan and he needs prayer.
Yeah.
Then the guy turned to Mark and did the same thing. Gun to his head, started fondling him, as the court documents say. That's what there's zero detail. The court document just says fondling.
Yeah.
He then turned back to Donna. He's just going in between them. But this time with Donna, he's becoming more aggressive. So she screamed and he slapped her hard across the face with an open hand. And that's when Mark calls it.
Oh.
Mark stands up and says, fuck this. He doesn't say fuck this, but that's what he says in my head. He says, fuck this. He jumped up, and as he does, the gunman takes 2 steps back.
Oh,
like he's
that
scared.
thing's not loaded. He's
scared. So Mark gets in between this psycho and Donna and tells him, you're not going to lay another hand on her. In order to get to her, you're going to have to shoot me first.
I play football and basketball, motherfucker.
Well,
No?
the gun was loaded.
Oh, it was? No.
He did. He shot Mark twice in the head, and Mark drops to the ground.
Whoa, no.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. I really thought, okay.
He regained consciousness just in time to see the guy running away and disappear into the woods, but he couldn't move, Mark. When he realized he couldn't see Donna, he was relieved that she must have gotten away.
Oh, no.
What he didn't know was after he was shot twice, she was also shot twice, and she was lying unconscious behind him out of his line of sight. He couldn't move, so he couldn't turn around to see.
Oh.
He was in and out of consciousness for the 2.5 hours before they were discovered. Around 12:30 a.m., 2 Jacksonville police officers were doing their routine patrol when they noticed Mark's maroon Monte Carlo parked at Germania Springs Park. The keys were still in the ignition, so they were looking around. They couldn't see anyone. And since it's past midnight, the tennis court's lights automatically go off at midnight. Mm-hmm. So now it's pitch black dark. So they start walking around with their flashlights looking for the owner of the car to be like, go home. What are you doing? Park's closed. Get out of here.
Oh, wow.
But after a few minutes, they discover a gruesome scene. They find Donna and Mark lying on the ground. They're both nude. They're both covered in blood. Mark was conscious at this point, but again, he could not move. Donna was unconscious, but still had a pulse.
Oh, my God.
So paramedics arrived, and both of them were rushed to the Regional Medical Center in Anniston, but then later transferred to University Hospital in Birmingham, which is now UAB.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it was UAB then, but now we actually call it that.
Yeah.
Donna had been shot in the back of the head and in the shoulder. I guess when he shot her, she turned to protect herself. Oh. Mark was shot in the neck and in his head through his chin. So it went like up through his chin.
Yeah.
They were confident Mark was not going to survive. I mean, because he was conscious when they found him, but they're like, this is not going to last. So while he was in and out, they asked him to quickly give a description of who did this. And Mark said the shooter was a white male, approximately 5'10", around 200 pounds, round face or like full face. He was wearing blue overalls, a red shirt, and a red baseball hat. They go to neighborhoods around the park because despite there being several houses and neighborhoods in the area, nobody called police. So now they're knocking on doors to see if anyone heard anything.
Yeah.
And damn it, sure they did.
Of course.
A woman living near the park told police that she heard 4 or 5 gunshots sometime between 10:20 p.m. and 10:40 p.m. that night. She heard it pretty clearly because she had no air conditioning, so all of her windows and doors were open.
Oh, wow.
And sorry, before the final shot, she heard a loud scream, and then it went silent.
I was about to give her grace until then. I'm like, rural Alabama in the 70s, people might target practice. They probably have, some people have acres of land that they're just whatever. If you hear a scream along with it,
they're not rural. It's not that rural at this point. They're in the suburb. They're in neighborhoods surrounding a big park, but still, it's Jacksonville State University is right there. I mean, it is a small town, which we'll get to, but so they're like, wait, sorry, you heard 4 or 5 gunshots, a loud scream, and then silence, and didn't do anything. And she said, well, just because it was so soon after the 4th of July, over 2 weeks, she thought they were fireworks.
A scream.
And like it was July 17th. I mean, how long are we doing fireworks? Don't only blame her though, because another person living adjacent to the park said she heard the gunshots around that time as well. And what she couldn't shake was how her 2 poodles reacted to it. They were usually very chill, even I guess with fireworks. They were chilled, weren't scared. But after the gunshots, they were unusually tense and anxious, which made her think like maybe those were actual gunshots. The same lady, that lady, was waiting up for her husband to get home from work at his night shift and heard a car door slam around 10:50 p.m. And she looked outside to see if it was him because it would have been weird. He would have been home too early. So she was like, oh, weird. So she looked outside and she was like, oh, it wasn't him. So she just dismissed it and assumed it was someone at the park because she said she could hear everything at the park. So they were like, oh, did you hear screams? And she said no. So I'm not trying to be mean, but come on. Scream and gunshots.
A scream followed, but the fact that they didn't base it solely on gunshots just does not surprise me.
Oh, I know. The second lady, again, not hearing a scream, I guess she was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The poodles are being weird, but that's okay. I don't know. But either way, after learning what actually happened, they were both they felt very guilty. Yeah. They apologized, obviously. So sorry to rag on y'all.
No, ladies. I mean, it happens. It happens a lot in our stories.
It happens a lot, especially in this era. Again, we're in 1977.
And again, Alabama, everyone has a gun. Maybe they probably hear gunshots a lot.
Maybe someone stepped their big toe on someone's property.
Right. And they're like, well, they shouldn't have been trespassing.
So the assailant is long gone. What?
It just reminds me of that It's Always Sunny. When Dee and Dennis go into the gun shop to prove how fucked up our laws are.
Yeah.
Our gun laws are. And so, hi, I need a gun that will blow a hole through an elephant because I want to protect my yard, my grass. My grass needs protecting. And they're like, sure, we didn't. She's like, I have no license, by the way. And she's like, that's okay.
We can figure that part out later. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's funny because it's tragic.
No, it's tragic.
Okay, so the assailant is long gone, obviously.
My God.
No one called anyone.
And a guy in overalls. Again, hate to say where we are.
There.
In overalls.
Oh, come on.
Everyone's in overalls. What are you doing?
Oh, my God. Make note of that later. The sheriff's department brings in the K-9 units from Huntsville Police Department, and the bloodhounds they pick up the shooter's scent through the woods, but they lost it when they hit a creek. So they assume he went through the creek to get away. 2 witnesses reported a red pickup truck parked near the park around 10 p.m. that night and described it as a somewhere between 1960 and 1965 model Ford, white grill and bumper. It had running boards, and most hilarious, it was hand-painted red. Hand-painted red.
Wow.
This is not the first time we've seen some dipshit who thinks they can paint their car themselves and it looked normal.
Right.
It's, a sloppily painted red truck.
But he got the whole truck?
Not profesh. I don't know.
The last story...
Yeah, the last
story
hand
painted, which was also Alabama, right?
Yes, it was.
They only got like the bumper, and then they're like, this is too hard.
Impossible, you might say. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they got the whole truck, but they could tell it was hand painted. So
yeah, I'm sure.
So they lock in on this truck, assuming it's the gunman or his accomplice. Mm-hmm. Sadly, Donna would not survive her injuries. Oh. She died at UAB on July 22nd, 1977, 5 days after the shooting. During the autopsy, the medical examiner recovered the 2 bullets that hit her and submitted it to the state lab. At the time of her death, Mark was still in ICU. He relied on a respirator to breathe. He couldn't talk. He had a severe spinal cord injury. He's in critical condition.
Yeah.
And we'll get more to his status later. But now this is a murder investigation.
Right.
Now that Donna died, now it's a murder investigation.
Yeah.
And they had Mark's description from the night of the shooting, but they're worried about the reliability. It was dark. The tennis courts were on, but an extremely traumatic event, obviously. And again, he had been shot twice, once in the head through his chin and the other in his neck. Like they're like,
yeah, but
who knows?
Well, unless it got it affects his memory, but that guy did approach him twice before, being no threat. So yeah, Mark's memory then is very reliable. He wasn't threatened at all. He could say he got his description then. He clocked it then, probably.
But at this point, it's days later, and he's like, I don't know if he's conscious. He might. I can't remember.
But depending on what lobe was hit,
yeah, he's not. Yeah. He can't talk. He definitely can't talk. So they don't know what is happening.
Right. Yeah.
So they're like, but it's all we have. So over the next couple of months, they embark on one of the biggest manhunts Calhoun County has ever seen.
Oh wow.
They conducted over 200 interviews. They showed when Mark was more stable, they showed him countless pictures of potential suspects. He did not point out any of them. None of them matched. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, police start revisiting other reports they received over the last couple of months of similar attacks around Jacksonville, Alabama.
Oh.
So over the 6 months prior to Donna Mark's attack, there had been several reports of similar crimes. One couple was held at gunpoint behind a gas station near Jacksonville State University campus. The man was assaulted and the woman was raped before the guy took off. Soon after, another couple was held up in a park in North Anniston, and it only said there was sexual intent and threats during the incident, but there's no other details. So I don't know if there was an actual assault. There was definitely intent, and I don't know why they.
Sounds like your guy. Either way.
But all of these reports had the same thing: young couple, usually a lover's lane style situation, seemingly sexually aggressive, perp. But now with Donna Mark, it's clear the violence is escalating.
Yeah.
This guy is now murdered, and it's the late 70s, so the Zodiac Killer was active less than 10 years before and has the same MO. Young couples, lover's lane type scenarios. At the time of Donna's murder and Mark's attempted murder, son of Sam was terrorizing New York. Right. He was caught in August 1977, a month after all this. So this unknown serial killer at the time is terrorizing New York. It's very much in the news. So everyone's just freaking out. And this is not a big city. Even today, Jacksonville, Alabama has less than 15,000 people. In 1980, it was 10,000. Yeah. And again, there's a university there. So like people are losing their minds, being like, do we have another serial killer? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Or a serial killer, because these, Zodiacs in California, Son of Sam's in New York. Anyway, so they're drawing all these parallels and seeing patterns in their typically safe community. And the sheriff issued a public service alert telling people that they don't have anyone in custody. Apparently, there were a bunch of rumors that there's an arrest. He was like, no, there's not.
No, he's still out there.
Yeah, so
which is the opposite of how they treat it today. They don't want to cause.
I know,
panic,
but they also are being like, so don't think he's in custody and then go park at this park. Because
no, absolutely.
We think he'll strike again. Avoid secluded areas, lock your doors, stay vigilant, high alert. Gone are the days you can go make out in your car. It's not happening. Stay home.
Make out at home.
Yeah, make out
on your couch while your parents are asleep.
Duh, but be quiet. They also issue a $13,000 reward for any information, which is almost $70,000 today.
Wow.
Which tells you like they really need community help.
Yeah.
They also released Mark's description and asked anyone who knew of a man acting very anxious or angry around this time to come forward. They were saying, if a man wearing overalls and a red shirt and a red hat seems like someone you know, come forward. And they're like, in Alabama? The line wraps around the police
you said full face.
Full face.
You want us to look for a fat guy in overalls in Alabama?
A chubby guy in overalls? There's ample lines wrapping around the sheriff department.
Right.
And then they're like, he was wearing shoes, and half the people walk off. Y'all, I'm kidding. We are born and raised in Alabama. We get to say it. We're joking. Alabama is the best, but that's
it is
funny stuff. Yeah. That's funny stuff. No.
Right, just really leaning into the stereotypes, but it is a pretty state, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh. Love Alabama. They also tell the community, like, we're confident this man is local. So obviously if you're in that area or were in that area that night, come forward. If you saw anything, just all of it.
Yeah. Did they make an announcement for anyone with a hand-painted truck to come forward?
I think that was released. Yeah. Actually, I have something on that later.
We have a lot of jokes about Alabama, but that is not one of them. Come on. That no one came forward being like, I know someone with a hand-painted truck. Yeah. There can't be that many of them.
I know.
Unless he may have painted it again. Maybe it's blue this time.
Maybe he went over it with a little black. Mm-hmm. Maybe he put blue on top of the red, and everyone was like, I saw a purple truck, but not a red one.
And so it doesn't check out. So no, this isn't your guy. This isn't your guy.
They also bring in the Alabama Bureau of Investigation, and ABI agent Ed Traylor takes the lead and comes up to the area to investigate within days after the attack. While there, Agent Traylor stops in a shoe store called the Pick and Pay because he needed new shoes.
I love it.
As he's shopping, he realizes he knows one of the employees at the Pick and Pay. It's 21-year-old John Ellis Sparks. And a little bit more about John Sparks. Again, he's 21 years old at this point. He was born and raised in Calhoun County. He was one of 5 kids. Their family was very close, and John especially bonded with his grandfather, who was an alcoholic and later went to prison for murder, and I can't find anything about that. It was
What?
vaguely mentioned in the Anniston Star, and I was like, back it up.
Did you go to newspapers?
Oh, yeah.
Newspaper.com?
Obviously. This whole thing came from newspapers.com. But yes, obviously. I can't find an obituary like preceded in death by whoever.
Okay.
I can't find whatever. Anyway. So
you'll
be left
when.
to one. I was about to say it could have been 1930
and they didn't give a shit if you shot someone. Yeah.
Right.
Or murdered someone. I don't even know what. I just assume shot, but
yeah.
I don't know how he murdered someone.
Right. But before he was in prison for murder, he always took John on fishing trips. And around the age of 12, his grandfather started letting him drink on these fishing trips.
No, that's not cool.
And John would later say it all went downhill from there. He spent his teenage years abusing drugs and alcohol. He joined the Air Force after graduating high school, but was kicked out when they learned of prior drug use. He got married at the age of 19, but it was short-lived. And he was actually going through a divorce when he started working at the Pick and Play.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he had problems with drugs and alcohol, he had no criminal record. So the reason the ABI agent Traylor knew him was because a few years prior to this, John had to give a statement in another case Traylor was investigating. It had to do with John's previous employer, who was a suspect. I don't know what the case was, but I do think the employer went to jail for whatever that crime was. But John just had to, I don't know if he had to testify or he gave a statement. That's how they met. So he was like, wait, I know you.
Yeah.
At this point, everyone in town is talking about the shooting. So John and Traylor are talking as he's shopping for shoes, and John straight up asks, what about the shooting in Germania Springs Park? That's crazy, right? And Traylor's like, yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm investigating it. And John's like, you know what's crazy is I was in the park playing tennis that night.
Oh, John, let's not put yourself at the crime scene if you had nothing to do with it.
Right. Well, he was like, wait, say what? What was that? And at this point, the Pick and Pay,
mm-hmm.
was pretty busy, and John was working. So Agent Traylor was like, I'm going to come back. No, he was like, I'll come back later. It's too busy. I actually want to talk to you, so I'll be back later. A few hours later, around 4 p.m., Agent Traylor and a deputy go back to the shoe store and get a statement from John. John said that night he picked up his friend Amanda Dennis around 7:15 p.m., and they got to the tennis courts around 7:30. They played for about an hour and a half and left around 9 p.m. to go eat at Chinello's Pizza in Jacksonville. They left Chinello's at about 10 p.m., and then he took Amanda back to her car, which was parked on the square in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went home, which I think he lived in Oxford, Alabama. These are all communities. They're all near each other.
Yeah.
All little towns. So Mark and Donna didn't even get to the park till around 10. So Amanda and John would have been gone by then anyway. But John said when he left there were a couple of guys still playing tennis, and they were driving a small white car. He actually thought he may have backed into the car when he was leaving, which is why he noticed it and remembered it.
Yeah.
John is by no means a suspect, but at this point they have nothing. So they ask him what he was wearing the night he played tennis. Did you wear overalls when you were playing tennis? Which might sound like an insane question, but no, because his answer was equally as ridiculous. Yeah. He was wearing cutoff jeans and a white t-shirt.
Okay.
I chafe just thinking about it.
Oh my God, for real. I mean, immediately go to Devon Sawa from now and then.
Oh,
that kid wore cutoffs every scene. It's the 70s.
The tight ones. Exactly.
Tight chafing. Ones, they're Bermudas. They're Bermudas.
I
mean, yeah.
Ugh. So they're like gross. And then they also noted
for sure.
Oh yeah. They're like, let me see your inner thighs. That is your alibi. We won't even talk to Amanda.
Right.
So they also noted that John drove a light blue Mercury remember the two witnesses noted a very embarrassingly hand-painted red truck.
Mm-hmm.
So Agent Trailer and his deputy are like, cool, thanks, see ya. And they go talk to Amanda Dennis to confirm the tennis story. They're like, did you play tennis on Sunday? Was he wearing cutoffs? Was he dripping blood by the end of it?
Tell him that's ill-advised?
Yeah. So Amanda Dennis is a local teacher, and she had only met John Sparks 2 days before the shooting. They met at a restaurant and it ended up talking for like 45 minutes, exchanged numbers. Again, he was recently divorced or going through divorce. She was single. They asked her to confirm his alibi that they were playing tennis the night before the shooting. And she said, what?
Complete lie. Again, why'd you put yourself at the scene? You volunteered that. Oh, come on, John.
Nowhere near done. Amanda told them that he asked her to hang out that night, but she said no because she was going to play tennis. That day, he called her every 20 minutes. They had met 2 days before. He would not stop. She ended up not playing tennis, so she went over to her mom's house, and he called her there. I guess her roommate gave the number.
Oh.
She didn't answer. I guess he left a message because I don't think she talked to him over there. But she got back from her mom's house, back to her apartment just before 11 p.m. It was around 10:50 p.m. And when she walked in, her phone was ringing. And she answered it, and it was John. Like,
no.
Chill.
Yeah, too much. Chill out.
Oh, my God. She said they talked for about 30 minutes when she picked it up then. And he was calm, normal as far as normal can go for the 2 days you've known him, and he's called nonstop.
If someone's calling me every 20 minutes for 2 days, you better not be calm when I finally answer. There better be
just on that Sunday, he called her every 20 minutes. But yeah.
Whatever. That day, you better not be calm. There better be something urgent you have to tell me. There better be a death in my family.
Right.
What?
Right. No, he was normal, breathing normally. He didn't seem stressed. He didn't seem like he had just committed a heinous crime. Like
man.
He was fine. But no, they did not play tennis that night. And she was very clear on that. They checked with her mom, who confirmed, like, yeah, she was with me until about 10:50. They checked phone records and confirmed that he was relentlessly calling her all fucking day. So yeah, they're like, that's weird. Why would he lie?
And she wants nothing to do with this. I met him 48 hours ago. Get me out of this murder questioning.
Right. So on August 3rd, 1977, Agent Trailer calls John to be like, hey, Amanda says you did not play tennis with her that night. So let's chat, because your alibi and alibying.
Checking out. We have cues.
We got cues. We're going to need some quick A's. Throughout the entire investigation, even past this point, Agent Trailer ends up talking to John like 25 to 30 times. Sometimes on the phone. Sometimes he goes to the pick and pay. I keep wanting to say pick and play.
I know.
Pick and pay. They also talked to some of his friends and coworkers who said that John told them he was a suspect, even though at this point he's not. He's definitely a person of interest, but he's not a suspect yet. But he was seemingly like excited to be a suspect. Like coworkers are like, what? You're fine. If you didn't do anything, you're fine.
And if you need an attorney, that's the only thing I know.
Yeah.
Get yourself a nice lawyer to advise you to stop acting excited to be a suspect.
Right.
And to shut your damn mouth about tennis.
Right. So Agent Trailer and John agree to meet on August 17th, 1977. I keep wanting to say 97 too. Lord.
Mm-hmm.
All right. August 17th, 1977, to go over his story yet again, because it's not matching.
Yeah.
But on that day, August 17th rolls around, Agent Trailer gets a call from John's dad. He's reporting him missing.
What?
He hadn't shown up at work. They couldn't get in touch with him. His dad said he seemingly vanished and no one had any idea where he was. Agent Trailer's like, damn it. Obviously, he's no longer a person of interest. He's a full-blown suspect.
Right.
And now he's on the run. Obviously, he doesn't show up to their planned meeting that day. But it didn't last long. He wasn't on the run for long because at 3:30 that day, August 17th, Agent Traylor got a call. He picked up and the caller said, "Hey, this is Johnny Sparks. I'm the one y'all want for that shooting in the Springs in Jacksonville." I guess they called the park the Springs.
Mm-hmm.
To which Traylor started reading him his rights immediately. He's like, "Hold on, you have the right to remain silent." And John interrupted him and said, yeah, I know all that, but I want to get this off my chest. And he went on to confess to the shooting, but said he didn't mean to. And this whole thing was just driving him crazy.
What? Didn't mean to.
Yeah. So Traylor is like, "Okay, well, where are you? Let's get you here. Everyone's worried about you. Let's come back."
Yeah.
He tells them, "I'm at a bus stop in Salt Lake City, Utah."
This was the day after they were supposed to meet?
This is the day they're supposed to meet, but they hadn't talked in several days. He contacted him on the 3rd saying like, "Something's not working here. We talked to Amanda. Her alibi's checking out. That means yours is not."
Right.
So this is several days.
Yeah.
And he made it all the way to Utah. The ABI agent asked him if he could come back on his own. Like, "Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing. I'll be there." So at some point, I don't know. Like, he just confessed to murder.
No, we got to go get him.
So John told him he didn't have money to come back on his own. So Traylor's like, "Okay, no problem. We'll call police there to pick you up and give you a place to stay, i.e. jail.
Jail. It's going to be a
and
cell.
I'll come get you and bring you back to Alabama. It'll be free of charge."
Right.
John, who is very cooperative at this point, even gives him the phone number to the payphone at the bus station in Salt Lake City. And it's like, "This is where you'll reach me. In the meantime, I'll sit here and just wait for Salt Lake City police."
Oh my God.
It gets even weirder. So right before they hang up, he's just going to sit there and wait. Right before they hang up, he asked Traylor to call his parents and let them know he's okay because he knew they were worried. But please don't tell him about the whole murder confession thing. Again, sure.
Gotcha.
Not a problem. Agent Traylor immediately calls Salt Lake City Police Department and give them the information and say, "Go get him stat. I'm on my way."
Mm-hmm.
John is waiting when a group of police officers walk into the bus station, and when he sees them, he freaks the F out. And this is where shit gets so weird.
Okay.
When the cops spot him, John runs downstairs. Like, he knew what was happening.
What? This was your
seeing
idea.
them, I think seeing
you
them.
made the phone call. You knew what was going to happen. No,
It was.
You agreed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the SWAT team. If not, it was a lot of them. And seeing him, he freaked. So he runs downstairs to the pizza restaurant that was in the basement of the bus station, which is gross. He grabs a young employee, a guy named Harold, who was working. He puts a knife to his throat and puts the kid in between him and the cops. He's holding him. He has a knife to Harold's throat. He's like a teenager, I think.
Oh.
John yelled for everyone else in the restaurant to get out, otherwise the kid's going to get hurt, which is so they did.
Oh.
He later denied having a knife, to which the hostage and the numerous cops and the numerous patrons that were in the restaurant were like, "No, yeah, he had a knife."
Otherwise, we would have jumped him and gotten our kid back. That's easy.
Right. And then he finally admitted, "Yeah, I did have a knife." What? John, stop.
John, you're giving dipshit vibes.
It is. That's exactly what it's giving. So cops keep their distance. They obviously see him take off and grab the kid. They keep their distance. And John starts making his way out of the door with the hostage.
Oh.
But somehow cops got him and arrested him. Harold was okay. He's the
because they have
Harold.
big old guns and he has this knife probably. But yeah, good. Yeah. Harold's okay.
Harold's fine. After this charade, he's now charged with aggravated kidnapping in Utah. So,
yeah.
But first, he's extradited back to Alabama. The trailer comes, they get him. He's extradited back to Alabama, where he's charged with the murder of Donna Tucker and attempted murder of Mark Martin. Fast forward about 4 months. In January 1978, prosecutors are preparing for trial when something happens that shakes everything up.
Oh, shit.
On January 2nd, 1978, Diane Holmesley was in her trailer in Jacksonville, Alabama. I'm going to keep saying this state because I just think people are going to picture Florida.
Sure.
So she's in her trailer. She's watching the late news when she hears a frantic knock on her door. It's like around 11 p.m.
Okay.
She opened the door to find a horrifying sight. A young man was collapsed at her front door, covered in blood. He could barely speak, but he said, "A man said we weren't supposed to be there, and then he shot us."
What?
This was 19-year-old Ken James. Only minutes before this, he and his 17-year-old girlfriend, Jackie Nance, who was a high school senior, were parked near a wooded area in Jacksonville when a car pulled up closely behind them and started shining their headlights into their car.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah, it was around 10 p.m., so they figured it must be a cop saying like, get out of here.
Right.
Suddenly a man approached Jackie's window, and when she rolls it down, he said, "You aren't supposed to be here. Why are you parked here?" And before they could answer, he pulled out a handgun, shot Jackie once in the head on contact. So it was against her temple. And then he shot Ken 3 or 4 times, hitting him in the neck, shoulder, and behind the ear. The assailant ran off, and somehow Ken managed to get out of the car and drag himself 2/10 of a mile before finally seeing Diane's trailer and going to knock on the door. She immediately called 911. Sadly, Jackie was pronounced dead at the hospital. Ken was taken to UAB and survived without any permanent injuries and was released after 10 days. But holy shit, these attacks were still happening, almost identical to Donna Mark's, which was less than 6 months ago at this point. And the person that they were certain did it was in jail awaiting trial. So now they're like, do we have the wrong effing person in jail?
Yeah.
Once Ken was able to talk to the police, he gave the following description. White male, around 6 feet tall, around 160 pounds, shoulder-length brown hair, and a mustache. This does not match John Sparks.
Okay. Guessing someone's weight would get me. I'd be like, I don't know.
No clue.
I have no clue, especially a man.
As I was about to say, especially a dude. No
Yeah.
way. 10 days later, on January 12th, 1978, police get a tip and arrested 28-year-old Douglas Eugene Bushy and charged him with the first-degree murder of Jackie and the attempted murder of Ken James.
God. There's some copycats up in here. What's happening?
It gets
And in both scenarios,
twisted.
the guy lived and the girls
Right?
died. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. On purpose?
He was also charged.
You're not just going to breeze right by that. Okay.
I don't know. He was also charged with the rape of another 19-year-old Anniston girl who, again, was parked with her boyfriend.
Oh,
When
my God.
a guy approached him, raped the girl at gunpoint, and fled. That happened in September. Again, John was in jail. These attacks were still going on. Same MO.
Yeah.
And it was after John was arrested. So they're like, shit.
Maybe John's just a dipshit who loves attention and he didn't do it.
Well, so they bring him in for Jackie and Ken's attack, as well as this attack of the 19-year-old. We, again, don't have many details on that, except it happened in September.
Mm-hmm.
And no one died in that one. But
Right.
so he's arrested for all that. During his interrogation, he confessed to killing Jackie and shooting Ken. It was very easy.
Oh, okay.
Then he really throws them for a loop when he confesses to killing Donna and shooting Mark.
Oh, my God.
So who is this creep?
I don't know. Just
No, you don't know?
kidding.
No, I'm asking you.
You were supposed to do research on this
You
one.
didn't do this? I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. I'll find it.
Okay, thank God.
So again, his name is Douglas Bushy.
Uh-huh.
He's 28 years old. He was born in Manchester, New Hampshire, which seems lovely. There's not a lot about his childhood other than he spent a lot of time in and out of foster care. So you can imagine it was not a great childhood.
No, yeah.
He moved to Oxford, Alabama in 1968, which is where he met his wife, Dorothy. At the time of the attacks on Jackie and Ken, he was working at Union Yarn Mill, which coincidentally is where Ken James, the survivor, worked at one point, not at the time. So
Okay.
I'm not totally sure if they knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he came to the window expecting to do the same thing as he had done with the couple in September and then realized like, oh shit, that guy knows me.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that was seemingly a coincidence.
Yeah.
Family members said he was previously ordered to undergo psychiatric care but refused treatment. So he definitely had some mental illness. He and Dorothy had 4 kids together, all boys, ranging from ages 1 to 7 at this point.
Oh, wow.
And Dorothy was pregnant with a little girl.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yikes. Poor Dorothy. Can I tell you my revelation in my head?
Okay.
Is Dorothy the second witness who didn't call 911 who said, I thought it was my husband coming home from work?
Oh, no. Damn, that would have been good.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. No, I think you would be aware of that.
That would be
If
crazy.
the cops came knocking on the killer's door and his wife answered. You would know that, I'm sure.
Oh, my God. That would be crazy.
Oh, okay. I'll get that out of my head then, because that's what I've been thinking since you said he worked at the mill until whatever.
Oh, well, I
picture late hours.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
So this guy confesses to everything. And with his confession, John Sparks now recants his confession, claiming insanity. I'm just messing around. Because he pled, he said, no, I'm just insane. They transferred him to Bryce Hospital in Tuscaloosa for a psychiatric evaluation to see if he was competent to stand trial. And doctors determined that he was.
Uh-huh.
By February 1978, so this is about a month after Bushy's arrest, Bushy recants the Germania Springs confession.
Oh, my God.
But he's still admitting to Ken and Jackie's shooting. He still admits that.
Okay.
But now he's recanting. So in short, let me summarize it real quick for you.
These yahoos are making the police head spin.
Right. We have 2 almost identical crimes within 6 months of each other in this small town. Young couples attacked and assaulted by gun-wielding asshole. The girl is murdered. The guy survives. The later attack, Ken and Jackie, is solved with Bushy's confession. That's confirmed. Good to go there. The attack on Donna and Mark is not as black and white because we have 2 sons of bitches confessing and recanting. Confessing, recanting. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Since Bushy recanted his confession, and that was literally all they had on him, they moved forward with charging John Sparks with the crime against Donna and Mark.
Okay. He did run.
I mean.
And he did put himself at the crime scene with a stupid alibi.
Right. John's trial is set for September 26, 1978. Ironically, the day before is when Bushy had to enter a plea. So in the very same courtroom, the day before, he pled guilty to the murder of Jackie Nance, assault with intent to murder Ken James, and the rape of the 19-year-old in Anniston. He was sentenced to life in prison plus 10 years for intent to kill and 10 years for the rape. So
bye, Bushy.
Bye-bye. The next day, John Sparks goes to trial for Donna's murder and Mark's attempted murder. The defense states the obvious. Douglas Bushy, I mean, he confessed. He was convicted of a damn near identical crime only months later. Yeah. He put himself in the case. You know, he did this.
Right.
The prosecution said, yeah, so did your boy John Sparks. Like, he also lied about his alibi. He inserted himself into the case, number one.
Right.
Trailer wasn't at the Pick and Pay to question him. He was shopping.
Yeah. Right.
He brought himself into this.
Yeah.
Then he lied about his alibi. He fled across the country. He took that poor kid hostage at the pizza restaurant.
Right.
Like, the state had a bunch of key witnesses, including the hostage from Salt Lake. Amanda, the alibi or lack thereof, who again confirmed, like, no, we didn't play tennis. God, that guy's psycho.
Yeah.
A friend who said that John remarked to her that he was a suspect. And when she responded with, well, if you didn't do it, you've got nothing to worry about. He replied, I didn't say I didn't do it. You know,
Did you tell me that already?
No, I hadn't told you that part yet.
Okay.
That was,
I was like, what?
And ironically, speaking of like guy with no boundaries, she was actually a customer from the Pick and Pay that he just called a lot. He called her a lot to chat.
No.
Her name was Norma. That's all we know about. That's all we hear about Norma, except that I was like, wait, I'm sorry. So you go there to buy shoes and this fucker calls you a lot? I would drive me crazy. No boundaries.
Oh my God. The last time I went to Pick and Pay.
I mean, go to the other one in Anniston or whatever.
Right. John is very, has no social cues. Even outside of murder. He sounds like he's a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah.
He's the guy at the checkout line. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't want that clerk. We'll wait for the other one.
Oh, just chats.
Yeah. Let's get in the longer line so we can avoid the small talk that comes with going with that guy, John.
When I'm behind people with that guy, I'm like, talk about beyond the person having to engage in the conversation. I'm like, do you see a line for me back here? Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Drives me crazy. If I'm behind someone at a coffee shop doing that too, I'm like, y'all, there's a line behind you. Can y'all chat later?
Right.
Y'all seem to be friendly. Exchange digits, chat later.
Right.
Bye.
I get that. But then sometimes I'm like, you might be really bored out of your gourd and I'm just going to entertain you for a second. And the people in the back, they get it. Like, I know it's not the customer and get like.
I was behind one the other day. It was fully the customer. The girl kept looking behind her and
annoying.
Like giving me the eyes. And I was like, I know you're on my side. Like the employee was on my side. So, I was like, girl.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Anyway, the defense had Dorothy Bushy testify. That's Douglas Bushy's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And she said the night of Donna and Mark's shooting, Douglas came home with wet and muddy clothes.
Oh.
She said he had been wearing an orange hat, but threw it in the garbage, which she thought was weird. He then unloaded his .22 pistol of 5 empty shells and filed the barrel down with a chainsaw.
Wait, she's testifying for the defense?
Yeah. And she's told him all this. And they're like, uh-huh. And I guess, and I know everyone's heard of like sawed-off shotgun. I'm so out of the loop with guns. So the reason you would do something like this is to either hinder ballistics, because you're messing with the gun's like anatomy, to like shorten the barrel.
Yeah.
Or shortening the barrel to make it easier to conceal. Like if it's too long to like fit in a pocket, if you're planning to approach 2 unassuming teenagers in a park, you don't want to be walking out, with it all out in the open. I don't know. Anyway, during cross-examination though, Dorothy said she was very aware of the reward money for information. So this did not sit well with jurors. The prosecutors really questioned her credibility. And a lot of people there's not too much detail about why this was so present in the juror's mind. There's not a transcript. There's a court file. There's a court case document and an appeals file, but it's not a transcript. So I'm like, wow, a lot of people lean into that though. In the sources is like, a lot of people think she just wanted the money. And a lot of people, they don't know the tip that came in that led to the arrest for Jackie's murder, that led to Bushy's arrest, was always anonymous. They will never say who did it. And a lot of people are like, his wife turned him in. Yeah. But the general consensus was she was doing it for the money. And I honestly do not know why. Anyway.
Okay. Because she has 5 kids.
I know.
That's why.
But it was like 13 grand. Anyway. Oh, well 70 in today's age.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's life-changing for some people.
Yeah. 5
especially
kids.
If she's living in a trailer in small town Alabama. 70 grand will get you, especially in the 70s, get you a great house.
I never said they're in a trailer.
Oh, you know what?
But cool assumptions.
No,
cool assumptions.
I keep going back to the Ken James collapsed at someone's trailer.
Diane's.
And then next to the park, those 2 witnesses who didn't call cops, they were in trailers, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, chemo brain. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Biases towards Alabama. Yet again. Yet again. Thank you for nothing.
Sorry.
Then they get Douglas Bushy himself to testify. And he blows everyone's mind yet again.
Oh, God, Bushy.
He testified saying, yes, he was at Germania Springs Park that night. He parked there with his gun in tow and saw the couple, but then heard 4 gunshots, saw the couple drop to the ground, and watched a man in overalls running away. He said it was a heavier set man, quote, clumping around. Like,
oh my God.
I'm picturing a dipshit running around.
Yeah.
He didn't call police because
running like a toddler would, like just flailing. That's how I picture it.
Exactly. He didn't call police because he had a record and didn't want to deal with it. And with his later crimes and the fact that he had a gun with him in the car at the time, it's likely that he was at Germania Springs Park that night for the same reason as John Sparks. He was going to attack the couple, but Sparks beat him to it.
Oh my God. Is that true?
What?
What are the chances that two monsters have the exact same plan?
Uh-huh.
They
And
don't know each other?
No. Nope. They do not know each other.
What?
But it sounds like even if John Sparks was not in the park that night, Donna and Mark were doomed either way.
Oh my God.
He never comes out and says that, but he was a rapist. He had a lot of indecent exposure charges, a lot of sexual crimes. He again later went on to do this exact same crime to two other people. Like,
what
he had his gun with him. He left his house that night, and his wife, I don't think, knew where he was going. That he was going to attack them. What the fuck?
One of them or both of them must know that couple, Donna and Mark, did that every Sunday or something. Like, that's crazy.
I don't think so.
There are two monsters among you, Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think they were both just hunting and hoping for the best, honestly.
Oh, I wonder how
and maybe
John Sparks.
Yeah.
I wonder what went through his mind when he heard that while he was in jail, someone committed his exact crime. I bet he was like, holy shit.
He was like, oh, wait,
hell
yeah.
That's
With
when
that,
he recanted.
I recant. That guy probably
I was
did it,
coerced.
You know? That was crazy.
Did it. That was weird, huh?
Weird, right?
Wow.
Right. So, wow. So the psychiatrist from Bryce testified that he diagnosed John with hysterical personality disorder, a condition marked, it's a condition marked by dramatic, impulsive, and attention-seeking behavior. The implication was that Sparks, his wild statements and flight to Utah were emotional overreactions, not an admission of guilt. He also said that Sparks had a strong dislike for Agent Traylor and may have given him wrong information just to mess with him.
Really? Why didn't he? Because of the first employer situation.
There you go. Yeah, I was about to say. John takes the stand himself, which is my favorite. I love it so much.
I know. I love when people do that.
He told jurors that his earlier statements to investigators were exaggerations, and he falsely gave all this bullshit information because of his hatred towards Agent Traylor. He wanted to get back at him because of the investigation against his former supervisor, who later went to jail or at least got fired or something. He said this was his revenge, but he was not guilty. He did not do this.
Oh my God.
This is batshit.
This is batshit. If a third person comes in, the Jean Shorts comes in and confesses.
Oh my God. They're bloodied. They're battered. It's awful.
Oh my God. And he's like, John Sparks did this to me.
Okay. Right. Then the star witness for the prosecution takes the stand, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Oh my God.
Mark Martin wheeled into the courtroom and recounted what happened a year and a half prior that would change his life forever. Following the attack, he was on a respirator at UAB for 6 weeks. He was then transferred to Spain Rehabilitation Center, which is part of UAB Hospital, where through the alphabet written on a chalkboard in front of him, he asked the nurse if he'd ever walk again, and she said no.
Oh my God.
He was paralyzed from the neck down. He stayed in the rehabilitation center for 5 months, going home just before the holidays in 1977.
Oh.
And if jurors had any doubt whether John Sparks was responsible, Mark took care of that.
Oh, okay.
You see, after John was arrested, officers set up a room at the hospital with a one-way mirror and had John and 4 other men with similar descriptions come do a lineup for Mark. Remember, Mark had seen countless pictures of potential suspects, said no to every single one of them. When they put that lineup in front of him, he picked out John without hesitation. Immediately said, number 3, it's him, 100%, no qualms. And his description from that night is dead on. I mean, John Sparks is heavier set, he's 5'10", all of it.
Yeah.
So brave Mark takes a stand and the courtroom is completely silent. Everyone is locked in to hear what he has to say. They ask him if he sees the man who shot him and Donna that night, to which he says yes and gestures towards John, saying, it's him right here. They asked him to recount what happened that night, which he did, the whole thing. Then they asked him if he'd seen Douglas Bushy at the park that night, and he said no, he hadn't. In fact, he's never seen Douglas Bushy before in his life. He was so unwavering in the fact that John was the guy that he spoke to 3 times that night, cigarette, match, and then getting so close that he fondled him.
Right.
Again, as the court document said. And he said it was 100% him. He stood, and I couldn't find the wording of this because I lost it amongst all the tabs I had open. But he was about the same height, and he stood eye to eye to him. Had it been Bushy, he would have had to be looking up.
Okay.
Because Bushy was like 6 feet, maybe a little taller. He was like, it was 100% John Sparks. The defense argued that it was dark, but then they were quickly reminded that the tennis court lights were on till midnight. All this happened between 10 and like 10:40. So fuck off. He could see it. He was face to face with this guy again. Like that was him.
Right.
The jury went to deliberate, and prior to doing so, they requested a ballistics report, but never got one. That's one of the things. Remember I said they removed the 2 bullets from Donna? No idea what happened with that.
That is insane. That seems like you're what? They never ran a ballistics test?
I don't know what, or they were too damaged. I don't know what happened. They were sent to the state lab. They said John was holding a pistol, which 22 is a pistol, no? Bushy did own a 22 pistol. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so we don't know anything about that. They found John guilty of 2nd-degree murder of Donna and attempted murder of Mark. I'm not done. They rejected the 1st-degree murder, explaining that they didn't think that John was at the park intending to kill anyone. They think that was obvious by the way he stepped back when Mark approached him, and he did it out of panic. They don't think there was an intent to kill. And then also,
I disagree.
Bushy and his wife's testimony did mess things up in their head. Like, they're like, God, it could have been him maybe. But if there was doubt, the jurors were like, Mark's testimony mostly solidified it, but they didn't think it warranted 1st-degree murder. Either way, when the verdict was read, his dad, John's dad, C.E. Sparks, collapsed during the reading and had to be taken out by ambulance.
Sad.
So John was sentenced to 30 years for Donna's murder, 20 years for Mark's attempted murder, total 50 years. He was led from the courtroom emotionless. He had no remorse, but still claiming his innocence. His attorney tried to appeal, citing a bunch of instances that he was questioned without the attorney present, but he waived his rights a few times.
Yeah.
So tough shit. They actually tried to get when they were doing the lineup at the hospital, they tried to get his attorney to the hospital to assist him, and they couldn't get in touch with him. So they're like, John, what do you want to do? Do you want to see if we can get in touch with him or move on? And John said, let's just go ahead with it. I'm smarter than any attorney anyway. So he waived his rights.
You seem to be, for sure.
So now I want to talk about Mark Martin a little bit more.
Okay.
All right, I want to get into his recovery a little bit more and then more present day. So he woke up at UAB with a spinal injury, collapsed lung, very critical condition. Remember, he was a notable athlete. Sports was his number one passion. So he said for the first time ever, he did an interview later, he was mad at God. But then he started talking to a mom whose son was at the same rehab center with a severe head injury. And I cried typing this out, so hold on.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
My posture just went up. I'm like, okay, I'm on high alert. What?
Whew. I should have practiced reading this out loud. The mom told him that she had been following his story in the newspaper. Everyone was.
Yeah.
And said he was very lucky that he still had his mind. She said she would trade the strength.
Oh, my God. Okay, I know where this is going.
Okay. She would trade the strength of her son's legs and arms from Mark's mind because her son would never be able to talk to her again. He would never be able to look at her again.
Hold on, take a moment if you need to.
I know. Sorry, hold on. Whew, this is awful. She'll never hear him say he loves her again. Whew.
Oh my God, how old is her son? What happened?
I don't know. We don't know a name. It was just after that, he was no longer mad at God. He thought, I am so lucky.
Yeah.
He spent, again, 5 months there before he finally got to go home. His parents got him an electric wheelchair. He had full-time care. So everyone's life changed. They wouldn't leave him alone at the house because they were scared of fires. Like everyone's life changed.
Yes.
But he maintained a positive attitude because of that conversation with that lady.
Oh,
isn't that so sad?
I hope she knows that what an impact she had on him.
That was an interview with Birmingham News, so I hope she saw
Yeah,
it.
she did. If he was, she said, "I'm following your story," so I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, it was
I know,
several years, 18 years later, maybe. Anyway, still. Whew. So
Oh my
he went on
God.
to teach Sunday school at Springville Baptist Church, and he helped out around the church on various projects. He helped his mom like manage finance. I think he lived with his parents forever.
Oh my God.
I think maybe not. That might not be true, but he did for a while at least.
Yeah.
He gave speeches to talk about how life can be brief and the importance of his faith and love and forgiveness. And he said, even through the failures and navigating this new life, he remembers that the Lord has given him so much and people have been so good to him that he never feels like he can give back enough.
Oh,
he's just such an angel. And when I first heard this, I was like, this fucker's behind it. Like, I don't know. I just thought maybe something. I was like,
I kind of thought that when you were like, let's talk about Mark. Yeah.
This is sus. Yeah. No, he is a angel on earth.
Oh.
He went on to say that he never spends time thinking about John Sparks.
Good.
That is until 1993 when he opened his weekly edition of a small newspaper called the Alabama Baptist and saw a story about a newly ordained Baptist preacher named John Ellis Sparks.
No.
His attempted murderer and his fiance's murderer was free and nobody told him. That's how he found out. There was a highlight on a new preacher named John Sparks.
Oh my God.
So how did this happen? Well,
this was before they notified you that people release. I know that, but like,
it was 1993 at this point.
Yeah. I don't think that law came in.
That interview he did was in 96. He said in the interview, I never put a thought of John Sparks in my head until about 3 years ago when I opened my newspaper and saw a picture of him.
Oh my God.
That's how he found out he was released. He was like, excuse me? So how did this happen? Well, he was sentenced to the 50 years, but because with the charge of attempted murder against Mark, he was eligible for parole after 8.5 years. Don't know why, don't know how. But once he got in prison, John started attending church every single night, 2 hours a night for 7 days a week. He also started working with the prison chaplain and started college courses and got his diploma in pastoral ministries. One day he read a letter in a Christian magazine and was impressed with the writer, whoever wrote the letter's take. Her name was Donna, ironically, his victim's name. So he wrote a letter to her and they kind of sparked up a relationship and they got married in the prison chapel in 1987. By 1990, he had been in front of the parole board 3 times and denied every time. But I guess the 4th time's a charm because he was released in 1992 after serving 14 years.
Wow. And they're both pastors now? Like Mark is too, right?
Mark is not. He
he's just
he was doing a
religious.
Sunday school. Yeah, he's very religious. His dad was a pastor.
Where is John?
So when he got out of prison, his new wife Donna, along with their 1-year-old son, picked him up from the prison. They went to Hardee's for a biscuit, then straight to church. They moved to Montgomery first, and he worked in various jobs while trying to get a job with the church to be a preacher. He's ordained at this point. But he worked for the city. He was he couldn't immediately get a job, shockingly.
Right.
But one church turned him down, not because he was a murderer, because he was divorced.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Batshit.
I need to hear the logic behind that. Oh my God. I
can't even begin to speculate because it can't even make
baffling.
Sense at all. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
Oh my God.
He ultimately did become a preacher and was at a church in Louisiana. Then he moved to South Alabama, like right above Mobile, Ukiah, maybe. I don't know. I've never heard of it. Then I think he ended up back somewhere around Montgomery, where eventually he retired. I'm pretty sure that's the last known
Okay.
that I could find. That there was the Baptist Message that I sourced. There's the last interview with him is there. It was in 2017 of him and
Oh my
Donna.
God.
And there's a YouTube of him talking about forgiveness. He's the epitome of bad becoming good and how God can change everything. I believe currently he's a hospice chaplain, I think.
What?
He has never once apologized to the Martins or the Tuckers, but he told the Birmingham News that the remorse will always be there, but there's no restitution. You could try.
You could try it.
He now focuses on his debt to God for forgiving him. He only vaguely references. Well, I've thought I read somewhere that he was asked straight up, why did you do this? And he said, I don't know why I did this. He was the devil had him. He was wrapped up in drugs and alcohol. I read that, but I couldn't find the quote, so I didn't put it, but I'm just going to say it here. So he only really vaguely mentions the actual crimes, saying things like proof that God can change people, and he had, again, Satan in him. But he will always be indebted to God for forgiving him for his awful sins.
What about the guy who can no longer walk, who's paralyzed from the neck down?
I know. When asked about it, Mark said, I hope for the sake of society and his family that his conversion is real. I only know him as the man holding a gun to my head and a man of no remorse. Because again, never once reached out to apologize. Sadly, Mark died on December 26, 2022 at the age of 64.
Oh, too young. That's way too young.
I know. And that is the batshit story of John Ellis Sparks. That's what I was going to call it. I couldn't decide if I should actually give it Donna and Mark.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. I don't know.
I think Donna and Mark, Oh, yeah. I mean, wow. No, it needs to be named after Mark and Donna, I feel like.
Mark.
Oh, my God. What is John Sparks doing now? What's that?
I just said, I think hospice.
No, I know he's a hospice chaplain, but still in Montgomery. That was 2017, right? His last
last update was I believe at a church in either the South Alabama or the around Montgomery one. He was in Louisiana for a little while. I don't know. He's around.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
No, I don't know what he's doing today.
Right.
There's not an obituary. I did find his son. I won't even say the name. So yeah, that's him. I actually found John too, but there's him. If you can imagine, very little on social media. Insane. And then for Bushy, there's not much of an update from him. He was again sentenced to life. I did see in 1986 he was involved in a prison knife fight where he got hurt and the other guy died. So it was a big fight though. So I don't know if he was eventually charged with that murder or someone else was. Yeah. But it was a prison fight. I think I found his obituary and he died in prison. I don't know what.
Holy shit. And like, so many things are going through my mind.
Isn't that awful?
Awful. I can't believe they didn't outline that very clearly to Mark at trial. Like, he is up for parole in 8.5 years for the charge against you.
He knew he was up for parole.
Oh, he didn't know that he was let out. He was given parole. Okay.
Yeah. He knew he had been denied 3 times. Yeah. And then he went to a pre-release something at Holman in South Alabama, and 2 months later was released. Like, I was like, was there a hearing? It's very confusing.
Victims get the right to speak at those hearings.
I know.
Well, maybe not in 93. I don't know.
I don't
remember when that
I don't know. He knew he was sentenced to 50 years with the possibility of parole in 8.5. But I guess
you've moved on with your life. You've accepted that you're never going to walk again. The whole thing. You don't even think about your attacker anymore. And then you open an article and see his
face.
Menacing face.
New preacher at this Baptist church in Alabama. What?
Wow.
Horrifying. And then the church saying, you don't get the job. And you know why? Oh, because I'm a convicted murderer. Because you got a divorce. That
is the
He
most
actually
shocking.
said in the interview with Birmingham News, he's in that interview too. It's called A Tale of Two Lives or something. It's crazy.
Oh, I want to hear that.
He says, I never in my wildest dreams thought that would be the problem.
Of course, no one did.
The one thing we can agree on, John.
Right, the one thing we agree on.
No one did.
Oh my God. That is ass
Insane.
backwards.
But like, no real apology. He never really talks specifically about the crimes except for like, I'm just glad God changed me from that evil guy to the good guy. Like, he said, I don't even let my kid watch Power Rangers. I don't own guns. I'm like, first of all, can you? I don't think
you
so.
better not be able to legally own a gun.
Second of all,
my God.
get out of here. All right, fine.
I have trouble with the randomness of it, the random act of violence. Why did you do that?
Again, I think it was probably hunting, hoping he could rape and then walk away. But when Mark bowed up to him, he was like, oh shit, I'm weak. What do I do? Shoot.
Well, okay, yeah, given that.
Yeah.
And the lack of remorse. See, because I can see where one might change if it's like a crime of passion. I think I've used this example before, but it's all I have. You walk in, see your spouse in bed with someone else, you have a gun, shoot, I don't know. And then that's your only crime and you get your 50 years or whatever, and you're out on parole because you actually have changed. That I can wrap my head around more so than the random act of violence where a girl is crying because she's being raped by you and you smack her in the face, then shoot her twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then shoot her boyfriend twice in the face. And now he's paralyzed from the neck down, completely changed his and everyone around his life.
Yeah.
And you haven't even acknowledged it. It's not an apology. Right. You didn't tear up at that trial when everyone else was head into the hands bawling.
No, he wasn't saved at that point.
Speak.
That was when Satan was inside of him, he says.
But now that
I know.
It's changed your ways, you need to acknowledge that, my friend.
He says it's not that he has remorse, it's that he has debt to God. I'm like, to them too, though.
Yeah. To Donna's family, friends, everyone. And to Mark and all Mark's family and friends. You've affected a lot of people's lives to not acknowledge not one.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Right.
Wow. What a dick.
And again, at this point, maybe he has based off that too. So that when the Martins were interviewed.
If it's not public, he hasn't.
And he, exactly. So when he was interviewed, and the Martins were interviewed for Birmingham News, that was 96. So that they're like, it's been 18 years. The Martin said, it's too late for an apology anyway, so don't worry about it. We haven't heard it thus far. We're probably never going to hear it. Hope he's actually converted. But in the 2017 Baptist Message interview with just him and Donna, he's so vague about it still, except for the hostage thing. He like talks actually in more detail about that. That I'm like, you haven't apologized. It's very all like, I just thank goodness, again, God changed me and I'm not crazy anymore. So he's a piece of shit. I hope he continues staying out of trouble and leaving people alone. But
I'm looking.
I mean, he's older now, thank God. But he served 14 years for that. That's insane. Anyway, custom shout out from Kelly. Big shout out to my true crime ride or die, Amanda. Oh, I started saying like there was a last name. There's not.
Oh, okay.
Nothing says friendship like judging terrible people together. Rebecca Cancer clearly didn't get the memo that you're the baddest boss in the story. Oh. We ride at dawn to take it down. Thanks. And Rachel, you're proof that people might be the worst, but sisters are the best. Thank you both for making people are the worst the highlight of our week. And hey, while we're calling out the worst, ableism makes the list. Check out perspectability.org, my nonprofit supporting neurodivergent adults in Southwest Arkansas. Y'all go check it out.
Okay.
Perspectability. So it's like ability. I'll just spell it like we do everything else.
Right.
PERSPECTABILITY.org. Y'all go check it out.
Okay.
PATW4L. That's for life, I bet. Love you, mean it.
We love you.
We love you. Good job.
And thank you for listening. Thank y'all for listening. This is y'all. I love when y'all thank us. That's so nice. But it is all
Y'all. For real. For real.
for sure.
And patrons, Reva, Rebecca, Stephanie, Melissa, Jalen, Taylor. Taylor. Hey, there's a Taylor with the same last name signed up twice. Just look into that. Same day, different email, same
Don't get
first
charged
and last
twice.
name.
We're just looking out for you.
And it's a very unique last name. I think you signed up twice. Go check it out. You're the best, though, if you did that on purpose.
If you're doing that for kicks, great.
That's very sweet. Arate, Thea, Cambria, Amanda, Rebecca, Jill, David, Edog, it almost looks like. Love you. Sandy, Hillary, Jessica, Teresa, Lindy, McKendra, Kelsey, Jennifer, JJ, Rain, Sydney. Y'all.
Yes.
You spoil us.
Thank you so much. It means the world to us, as you know. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Keep telling your friends. If you haven't reviewed us yet, go ahead.
Go ahead. What's the holdup? But only if it's good. If it's a question, email us.
Have you seen those?
Oh my gosh. peoplearetheworstpod@gmail.com. If it's a question, don't put a 1-star and then ask the question. Just email and ask the question. We'll give you the answer and then you decide the review.
And it's usually like a Patreon customer service question where I'm like, I don't know. Wait, hold on. That's not
crazy.
us.
That's not us, silly.
But thank y'all.
Love y'all.
You're the best.
People are the worst.
Worst.